I'm Andy Beningo, and I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been to some pretty cool places, and have worked with some pretty cool people. This is my life on the road.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of On the Road with Andy Beningo. And this week I'm actually excited to be sharing a little snippet of an episode of when I appeared on the nationally syndicated Bob and Tom radio show.
The Bob and Tom Show is a legendary radio show and first hit the airwaves in 1983. Focusing on comedy and talk, Bob and Tom is a mashup of news stories, sports, and interviews. The show has received recognition from the National Association of Broadcasters as an exemplar in American radio. The show became nationally syndicated in 2005, and since then, they've attracted millions of listeners every morning all over the country and can be even heard around the world on the American Forces Network. For 35 years, the cast of the Bob and Tom Show included Bob Cavoyan and Tom Griswold, sports with Chick McGee, and news with Christy Lee. In 2015, Bob and Tom were selected as inductees to the National Radio Hall of Fame, and during his induction speech, Bob announced his retirement from radio. Since then, the show has added comedian Josh Arnold to their cast. Over the years, the Bob and Tom Show has created over 60 CDs and DVDs.
I remember being in high school and my cousin Dane was giving me a ride home from high school, and he had the Best of the Bob and Tom radio show CD, and he and I were listening to it on the way home, and we listened to guys like Jim Gaffigan, Daniel Tosh, Mike Birbiglia, and I remember laughing, crying at some of the sketches that these guys were doing on the air. And I remember my cousin Dane stopped in the CD and kind of looked over at me and goes, "One day you're going to be a comedian and you're going to be on this show." So it was my dream to at least appear on the show at least one time. And I've been lucky to appear on it several times over the last couple of years. People always kind of ask me like, well, how did you get on the Bob and Tom Show? Well, the first time I got on was kind of by accident. I was doing stand-up in a comedy club in the Midwest, and I had a great set. I was feeling very good about the show. And I got off stage, and I saw Tom Griswold in the audience. And he kind of like nodded at me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Tom from Bob and Tom, no way. And after the show, he kind of came up to me and was like, I really enjoyed your show. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he's like, do you have plans on Monday? Our guest canceled, and we'd love to have you on the Bob and Tom Show in the morning. And I just remember freaking out, like calling all my friends, all my family, pretty much anybody that I knew. Dude, I'm going to be on the Bob and Tom Show. No way. Like I said, they've been very gracious and have had me on the show many times over the years. And so it's definitely been a thrill of mine to go in and have some laughs with them. This show was a lot of fun. I actually got to be on the show with my good friend Frank Caliendo. We were doing some shows around the Midwest, and he invited me to be on the show in the morning, and we had some laughs. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode.
And then also joining us, comedian,
a lot of tongue in that kiss.
Comedian Andy Beningo is his.
Hey, what's going on? Like, no hug for me? Or?
That's all
right. We'll do it later.
Andy,
Yeah,
you
I
look
figured
really
it was.
great. Did you lose a bunch of weight?
I did, yeah. I've been working out a little bit, which is nice, and it's always awkward because there's always, those cliche gym guys. They always want to work out with you as well. This guy came up to me, he's like, "Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, you want to work out with me?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm actually on this machine right now." He's like, "That's the water fountain," and I'm like, "I know, but I've been killing these reps. I'm so good at this machine. I'm on this.
So good at this.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun. Andy travels a bit, been doing some shows with me, and it's really funny because he'll go up on stage and people will think it's me at the beginning because we do favor each other slightly, and you hear the sigh of people when they realize that it isn't me in character. They'll be like, "Oh, this is a different guy."
Yeah, there is a slight resemblance.
Yeah. But especially if I bounce and say. That's awesome. I was telling him this last night on the drive over. It's so funny because he said something. I said, I don't remember what I said.
The
He goes,
street, I think.
It was the street. And he goes, "Yeah, that's awesome." I go, "Actually, it's very ordinary. It's not awesome at all." You just throw. What was it?
It was something because I remember because you were making fun of me for about 20 minutes, but we were driving. You were like, "Oh, the hotel's like 2 minutes off the highway." And I was like, "That's awesome."
Oh yeah, that's
and you're
awesome.
Like, let's not get carried away, little fella. Just relax.
That great
Dial it
about
back
the
just a
hotel
smidge.
being 2 minutes off.
Yeah, that's kind of happened. The word "awesome."
Oh yeah, it's
kind of
it's
over.
out there a lot, but it's awesome.
It's good to see Andy. Andy's one of the most positive, friendliest people.
That's
yeah.
right. Even someone like Tom can't ruin his
I'll beat it
Andy's
out of
outlook.
I'll beat it out of you before the day's over. Doesn't Beningo sound like something from Yahtzee or
Beningo.
Beningo?
With a name like Beningo, you
That's
have
good
to be
Beningo.
happy.
You got to be excited,
Yes.
right? The name is awesome.
Exactly.
It's the coolest.
It's awesome.
You know, we have
awesome.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you click the subscribe button to watch upcoming episodes of On the Road with Andy Beningo. Make sure you tune in every Monday through Friday to listen to the Bob and Tom Show, and please make sure you check out www.bobandtom.com.